At the same time, this is my grade on the line, so I don't know. I don't know. Just can we wait till I graduate? Dating my teacher, and this is, like how it is and like how we met and everything. Okay, so I knew him before, but like I didn't have his class, so like I think he subbed for my class one time, and we had like a really good conversation, and I knew that he was gonna be going because what is his name? I knew he was gonna be going because I was talking about something to these girls about, like, I think a girl got exposed or something, and he wanted to see the video of her being exposed. So when he did that, I was kind of just like, oh, he's one of them. Like, I already know, but I didn't think too much of it. I wanted to mind my business. Cool. Next year, I end up getting his class. We chatting it up. He always well, like you could just tell. I don't know. It's just signs. And then he would always like try to keep me like after his classroom. Like when everybody would go to lunch, he wanted me to like sit in there and eat lunch with him. And we would just chat it up. And then eventually he started like giving me money. And then I was like, and then eventually he followed me on Instagram. And, things led to another. And yeah, I have like a really good grade in his class. I'm not gonna fail, especially because the class is math, so it's really, really hard. I'm so bad at math, so I'm so grateful for him being a math teacher because the year is going to go by as a breeze. Love him. I think he has a wife. I don't know. But if he has a wife, then I would say that like I would stop talking to him. But at the same time, this is my grade on the line, so I don't know. I don't know. Just can we wait till I graduate?
Hey, yo, what's happening, black man? Peace, peace. Now, in this one, I've been talking about a lot of things lately, but let me talk about this one, right? So, again, I've mentioned in plenty of videos, black women, when they select a man, right, they select a man for all the wrong reasons, but they eliminate men for all the right ones, right? So, whatever's a positive towards you, it's a negative in their eyes. So, if you're a black man who's educated, negative. If you're a black man who reads, negative. You're a black man who knows where your birth certificate and your social security card is, negative. You're a black man with a job, responsible. You pay your bills on time, good credit score, negative. You're a black man who has a vehicle, place to stay, negative. If you're a black male who is a bum, positive. If you are a black male who flexes on Instagram, positive. If you are a black male who is not responsible, right? But somehow you have multiple children by multiple women, positive. Again, they look for ways to eliminate, not ways to select. And when they do select, they select the absolute worst and they breed with the absolute worst, which is why the black community will always be at the bottom. Because guess what? We don't have men in the community. It's just women and boys, right? Gloctavius may be physically in a grown man's body, right, because of his age and his size, but he has the mind, the mentality, the emotional stability, the rationality of a boy, right? Now, what you watch in that video clip was Keisha talk about, having a relationship with her teacher. Now, it wasn't specified if she was a high school student or a university student, but again, that's the kind of offset in the imbalance in a relationship that they look for because they're looking for leverage, black men. I'm telling you, for you average, run of the mill, normal black men, I'm not saying being normal is bad, but I'm telling you there's a reason why you always felt like it was bad because it's too much of an equal footing, right? It's either an equal footing or you're too far above her to where, listen, either she has to fall in line, especially that's why they look for black men who don't really understand their self value or their self worth. Because when you are a guy who's valuable but don't understand your worth, they'll go for you because why? They can take control. If you understand your value and you understand your worth, she's not going to go for you because why? That kind of way of thinking is going to show in your personality. It kind of exudes off you, man. It's part of your aura, right? People can feel that when you know your own self worth and you know your own self value. People don't like that, especially from a black man. Now, if you are, again, like the teacher, right? Teacher, again, way older than the young girl. If she is in college, I mean, she could be of legal age, but even then, it's not going to be, something that's going to be, it's going to be frowned upon being that old, messing with a young girl like that. And again, the caption says she was in high school. So that makes it even worse. But again, black men, that's the kind of dynamic they look for because why? There's disposability and leverage in that situation, right? See, she mentioned how the dude was giving her money and she was doing the whole clock it, acting all excited and everything. That's what these black hoes really want from you as black males, right? From black males, I'm sorry, from responsible thinking black men, she wants money, right? From Pookie, from Jay Fizzle, she wants sex. Now, again, if she can manipulate responsible black men to get what she wants, okay, she'll take that route. Again, hence why she chose to mess with the teacher. Now, let me point something out. She mentioned how she knew he was going to be easy. If she is a high school student, right? Now, she talked about graduating. So, again, she could be a senior in university or a senior in high school. But let's run with the fact that, because again, the caption said high school. So she's probably a high school senior. Now she's talking about the fact that, oh, he's easy. And she knew he was going to be easy because he asked to see the video of the girl being exposed. Now think about this, black man. As a high school senior, you're like what, 17 years old? And she knew the fact that a grown man who is at least 10 years older than her is going to be easy. I mentioned in one of my videos, black women learn from young how to eliminate, not how to select. So again, when they find these off balance situations where again she has leverage, she has the upper hand, that's what they look for. That's who her mama told her to go for. That's who her grandmother, her auntie, her cousin, her sister, her best friends, they all been taught the same thing. Go for the man that you have leverage over. Go for the man that you have the upper hand on. Don't go for the guy where it's an equal footing or he's better than you or he has more going on than you. Look for the man that you can control. So again, she talked about how that black, or she talked about the fact of how her teacher, again, is going to give her a good grade. He's following her on Instagram, giving her money. Talk about how he was married. I'm like, what the fuck? See, these young black women, and I'm gonna tell you guys a story, right? I met a young black girl off of Tinder. No, I'm sorry, off of Hinge. This was like 2 years ago. No, I'm sorry. I met a young black girl off of Hinge last year, right? Chopped work, man, chopped work. But again, here's the dynamic. Me, my own spot, vehicle, good income. Again, I'm at the peak of my own physicality, and here she is, chop work, single mom of two kids, two baby fathers. And then guess what? She told me two stories of how she was getting smashed. Again, I don't know if this guy's recent or this was a past situation, but who knows? Getting smashed by a black dude who was a mechanic, right? The mechanic was a hardworking dude, but from what she said, he did not have good sexual performance. And he was being cheated on by his wife, and the young black woman with two kids was cheating on him as well. I'm like, how do you even get involved in that? Then she hooks up with a bus driver from the city who I guess is smashing her lights out and throwing her a few dollars. I'm like, man, listen, I don't. When you really look at how black women move throughout their life, it'll make you question to yourself as a black man, why would you relegate yourself to that? Out of all the options you can have, you choose that? Again, the last thing I was desperate. I'm the furthest thing from desperate, and you think I'm gonna choose that? Listen, she was making it so easy for me because it was so imbalanced that listen, she had to try and make it so easy for me because why? I was somebody who could rescue her. I was somebody who could save her, black man. No way, son. No blood clot way. No pussy clot way. No ras clot way. No. Me save you, Black John? Yo, I'm the wrong brother for that. You feel me? But see, black men, in that video clip, like I said, this is how black women select. They don't look for you when you're doing well. They don't look for you when you're responsible. Again, when you guys are the same age, just think about that. Why is it? How many black men can really say, "Yeah, I've been hooking up with black women who are my age my whole life"? No, they look for guys who are going to be older than them. They look for guys who have. It's funny because the guys they reproduce with never have nothing more going on than what they do. They don't mind dating somebody who is doing better than them, but when it comes down to reproduction, black women never reproduce with black males who are doing better than them and men who don't have the built-in disposability with them. You never have kids by responsible black men, and for the few that do, again, it happens so much later in life. Again, you have to wait until she's 35 years old. Or if not, okay, 32, 33 years old. Now it's time for a buzzer beater. Eh, you feel me? The way I be shooting these buzzer beaters on our 2K. Yo, listen, it's time for the buzzer beater, dude. You meet her at 32 years old. She has 3 years, probably 2.5 years left. You have about 2.5 years left before she can give you a healthy baby. And even at 32, 33 years old, you're taking chances. There's a reason why, have you noticed, right? Black women who produce kids at like 18, 19, even underage teenage pregnancy, those kids come out to be like very healthy in general, right? When you look at the kids who are born from females who have the kid at like 31, 34 years old, 29, I'm like, those kids come out with some kind of birth defects and things that's not usually all the way together yet. But it's strange, man. You got to pay attention to catch on to these kind of things. But it's funny. Again, she's talking about her grade. Hopefully that teacher doesn't lose his job. You know what I find so funny, right? Even when I was in school, I saw different things of how like teachers were getting with young females in the school. And I think to myself, I'm like, out of all the people, like, why don't these black Jones just say no? But again, when the situation is so much in their own hands and they can control it how they want it to, I don't think they can pass it up. I really don't, because again, when you look at Glocktavius, when you look at Jay Fizzle, I have to keep on pointing this out. It is built-in disposability. You as a responsible black man, you're not really giving her. It's like think about it like a job. When you're responsible, when you actually do your job, when you show up on time, you're early, not on time, but you show up early and you do your job how you're supposed to do it to the best of your ability. Unless the company is just doing company layoffs for whatever reason, the job just can't fire you. I mean, they can if you live in an at will state, but let's not get technical, right? You haven't given the job a reason to fire you. So in a relationship, it's the same thing with these black joints. You haven't given her a reason. The built-in big red button it's not there. You feel me? The eject button is not there. So again, they have to sabotage you. When it comes to Jay Fizzle, when it comes to the simps, again, the simp is willing to risk his own career and his freedom for an underage girl, all because she wants to pass a class that she's not even equipped to pass. But guess what, black man? If she can use you to pass the, come on, son. You don't think she's giving up box? You don't think she's giving up box? She said he was easy, black man. Think about what she learned at home. Give him a little pussy, tell him what he want to hear. Use that nigga. You feel me? I'm telling you, black man, it's nasty work out here, yo. Ah, man. Anyways, this one won't be too long, man. I just want to point that out to you guys. They look for ways to control, they look for ways to manipulate. You, as a responsible black man, productive black man, thinking black man, you sit back and wonder why things were never in your favor. How come things always ended so abruptly with us? But when it comes to Jay Fizzle, he gets long term because she has control over those niggas. She can't control you. That's why things don't last. That's why they always sabotage the relationship. Jay Fizzle is a built-in big red eject button. Whenever she want to get rid of him, she can. Call the police. Tell his manager. Fry his ass. Listen, cook him well done. Anyways, I'm out, black man. Peace, peace.